Hey everybody, I'm back with a new purchase. Bought this 2004 S130. It's got about 1,600 hours on it. Solid tires still has a good amount of tread. Spent most of its life outside, which a lot of the rust and cosmetics can easily be touched up. I'll probably do a little bit of restoration on this. I'm not going to go overboard. It's not going to be pulled apart into pieces and painted. It'll probably be painted in place. Lifting the cab, lifting the arms, that kind of stuff. The bucket's in good shape. The engine runs well. That's my heater kicking on. But for today, when I opened this, exchanger screen was all mangled and dented up and squished. A lot of these stuff had been dropped on it. I kind of fixed it up a little bit. You can still see some dents, and painted it because the screen was kind of rusty. But what I have here today is I'm going to take this oil coiler out, because down inside there, I don't know if you can see it, there is a lot of debris and gravel. I don't know if you can't really see it, but I'm going to unhook the hydraulic hoses, take this oil cooler out. It had all kind of pebbles and rocks embedded in this. I picked it all clean. The engine looks good, runs well, no issues. It's been recently serviced when I bought it, so we'll see how it goes. We have a snowstorm coming. I might have to use it, but anyway, this is what I got. Got the oil cooler out, and I took these rubber caps I bought on Amazon. They come in handy. I got the holes plugged there. Also, I got the lines capped just to keep any debris. Actually, I use this tool. It's an old table saw wrench, very thin, that get down in between the connection. You can try a screwdriver, but this worked great. So anything thin will unhook these. You can see the debris down in the radiator, and now you can kind of see the gravel down there. Somebody accidentally or purposely dumped some gravel down there. We're going to get it out. Have a little bit of work to do on the oil cooler. You can see the debris starting to rust. As I said, this thing spent most of its life outside, but we'll get it fixed. Pretty cool. So I got the radiator cleaned up pretty well. A lot of debris out of there. Then down in here, that was packed with gravel all around the hose here. And all down in there was packed with gravel. So my concern, you get that gravel vibrating when the machine's running. And maybe it could start digging into the radiator. But that looks good. Old cooler the oil cooler on the bottom side, rusty. It's got some really rusted out fins, but it's not leaking. And I took a very soft brass wire brush, got a lot of the debris out of there. So it should keep the hydraulic oil pretty cool. So I'm going to install this and get everything hooked back up. It's all back together. Oil cooler, got the connections made. Looks good, much better. I'm going to put the screen on and we'll call it a wrap. Well, we had a little bit of break in the action here on getting the some of the basics done on the Bobcat. You can see this is what happened. In between me parking the loader with the intention of letting it sit and slowly working on it, checking everything out. That pile there is a pile of crushed concrete. I was gonna do that and start a little bit of the restoration, but unfortunately I had to use the Bobcat a little bit. It worked well. So what happened was the storm came up the coast. Well, actually it came from across from the west, covered most of the United States. Huge storm. And usually I use the John Deere 445 to plow. This thing will plow easily a foot of normal snow at any time. But we had about a half-inch of ice come down after the storm and some freezing rain. This stuff turned into a major mess. So I decided to go ahead and take the S130 out. And it did really well. As I mentioned earlier, the engine runs really well. It started up, it was 7 degrees in my shop when I started it. Let the glow plugs warm it up a little bit and it cranked right up. So today what I want to do, take this door off. I could not adjust the seat. The seat, I think, from what I'm reading online, down in the tracks gets really rusty, especially for the ones that sit outside most of their life. So I'm going to pop that seat off. First start with the pump. I've already unhooked the wiring for the windshield wiper, the washer fluid, and for the first time I'm going to raise the cab, take a look underneath, try to get the seat bolts loose, take the seat out, and look behind the seat, grab any trash, any debris. So the goal here is to get this thing at kind of a baseline. I already know the engine oil has been changed, the hydraulic fluid's been changed. It runs well. I don't see any leaks, knock on wood, so I want to get kind of a baseline and then build from that. If there's anything that I see as I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and fix. I doubt if I'll get to the cosmetics until the springtime. So I'll get started on that. Get started here. Got all the wiring harness unhooked. Has a windshield washer attached to it. Windshield washer fluid. I gotta take this off. Do that. Push up a little clip here. Try to get my clip. So all you people that have never done this before, like myself, I believe that thing right there, that's the latch that holds it. I'm gonna go take a look at it. This stuff's all new to me. I've run these things for many years, but I've never had to work on them. I've never even seen the inside, which I'll show you in a minute, because it actually looks pretty good down there. So there is a little latch here, appears to hold it up. All right. Did we find anything in there? I don't know, you tell me. It looks pretty clean. Based on this machine, what I've been finding, I expected to see all kind of gravel and everything else down inside there. The lines have a little bit of surface rust on them, which is probably normal. Like I said, this thing got poured on for decades, since 2004. Every day getting rained on. Doesn't look too bad. Wiring harnesses look good. I don't see any leaks. A few spots where the PB blaster's running down, but looks normal to me. Okay. Now, the seat is another issue. Seat plate, it's got some surface rust on it. I'll clean that up. But here's the 4 bolts. I believe they're 1/2 inch. Then we can lower this thing back down and pull the seat out. The main reason I'm pulling the track out seat 2 is because of the tracks. I don't know if I mentioned that. The tracks, I can't move this thing up, back, forward, tilt, nothing. So it's got to come out of there. One more look inside, guys. If you see anything wrong, if you're a Bobcat mechanic, maybe chime in. I don't see anything. No hydraulic fluid. Of course, I'm going to check eventually when I pull the tires. I'll check the drive motor. There behind that, I have to check the oil in that. These tires are very expensive. Solid tires. I can't believe what they're charging for these. I think they were about $3,200 new. I believe these may be original. I think this thing stayed on the pavement most of its life. The other thing I wanted to show you, grease fitting inside there, up inside there, gone. So I greased the machine, hit all the fittings, that I could reach, could find. Got to this one, it's gone. It wasn't snapped off. The threads were still there in the cylinder socket, but getting a 45-degree angle fitting inside of there. In other words, it goes into the cylinder and then the head comes out towards, so you can grease it this direction. 2 hours getting that fitting in there. I was using every tool I could think of to try. I can't get my fingers in there to screw it in place. Lifting the cylinders did nothing. So that's interesting. Fixed. All the other grease fittings look great. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this cab down, pop the seat off. Got in there. Climb on in. Hopefully nothing bites me. Got some gloves. I think this goes on the outside on one of the cab sides. Rag. This looks like some kind of a armrest somewhere along the cabs. We'll figure it out. The paperwork. All these Bobcats come with this little slide-in thing. I'll try to fix that. Epoxy it. What else we got here? Caution tape. Ooh. Some gloves. Surface rust. Nothing spectacular. Didn't find any gold. That's the hydraulic release valve. So I'll wire brush this, vacuum it, get some of the surface rust out of here. Not going to spend a lot of time on this today. I mainly want to get the seat out, get it hit with PB Blaster. I could take that and the piece across for the bottom of the glass and probably prime that, get it sanded. Done a little at a time. That cab is probably going to be the very first thing that I clean up and repaint. To my surprise, I believe the top part is called charcoal, Bobcat charcoal paint. It's more of a gray black, a dark gray. You can still get the white Bobcat paint and of course the orange back door. But I wire wheeled, got most of the rust out. I'm going to prime that, spray it, just because I don't want that pan to rot out in the future. Got a couple missing pieces here. This cab has heat, which works really well. I may buy another one of these vents to snap in place. All the other vents are there. So I'll walk you over, show you the seat. So the problem I was having, this is an adjustment, I believe, for the tension, the spring, how springy you want the seat. This here raises the seat, and then this side lever is supposed to release the back to tilt. All these things are locked up. This one doesn't look as rusted as a lot of I've seen online. Seat belt, it's not in bad shape. I'll probably clean the rust here, just so I have a working seat belt. I don't typically use seat belt unless I'm climbing hills, things like that, where I'm gonna possibility of tipping the machine. Well, I'm gonna let this stuff work its magic. And that'll be it for this first episode of going over this S130. Thanks for watching.